I think he's a little smarter than Barbarino, all right, but not drastically. But John Travolta is a really good comedian, and it's a funny movie. Yeah. It's a comedy, but literally, his timing on Welcome Back Kotter was really fantastic. He's a really good comedic actor. Mm-hmm. So, frankly, it's growing up watching him as Welcome Back Kotter. But also, not only that, though, aside from just that, there was this aspect. John Travolta is a movie star. Just because everyone in Hollywood had forgotten about it, that just shows how dumb they are.
Oh, that's true.
I actually walked down the street with John Travolta at his lowest ebb in pre-production of the movie, and people would lose their minds when you see him. We'd walk into a regular restaurant and we had to leave.
Grease, Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, people,
huge.
The tourists in Hollywood would see him and just lose their mind. It's like, people are dying to see him in something worth watching. It's just stupid Hollywood that doesn't realize it.
Wow, yeah. That's absolutely what the situation was.
Well, actually, kind of, similar to the gigantic response that Liam Neeson got when he did Taken. People just been waiting for him to be in a movie they could see. It's just Hollywood wasn't smart enough to know it.
You liked Taken, right?
Actually, I haven't seen Taken, frankly, to tell you the truth.
Right. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I was wondering. Hey, Stephen Philly in capital letters, so we have to ask this. Ask him why Kurt Russell and Sacha Baron Cohen dropped out of the new movie here.
Basically what happened was, in the case of Sacha Baron Cohen, he's a great guy, and I'd love to work with him. It was simply the fact that I ended up dropping that sequence. It was a scene I just knew, this will never make the movie. Yeah. And I don't have the days and the time and the money to spend on something that I know is going to get dropped from the editing room. So I had to call him and just let him know, look, it's just not going to work out. I just know the scene ain't going to make the finished film. The movie's too long as it is. So that was why that worked out. And then the other, and with Kurt is a great guy and he's a good friend. I knew I was going to have to cut his character way down.
Oh, okay.
I'd already done a lot of the movie. I knew how much I pretty much had left, and if I was going to lose it from anywhere, it would have been from his character. So I kind of let him know. Look, the part was it 5 months or 6 months after I'd given him the role, we've been doing the movie for a long time. So now we're getting into the tail end, is where he would be coming in, and I just knew it was going to be shortened so much. So I gave him the I told him that, laid it out to him, and we just decided maybe this is not the one.
Did the character make the final cut?
Oh yeah, it's Walt Goggins' character.
Which? Oh,
he was the guy, the castration guy, the Billy Crash.
Oh God, that guy was great.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Oh, that's a horrifying fucking scene. Horrifying.
I love this inside stuff.
Yeah. Kurt Russell probably should have taken that, even though that guy was great, because that was an amazing character. He was dark. Who was hateable in the movie? Again, brilliant. I didn't recognize Samuel Jackson until his mouth opened and he spoke. I didn't know it was him.
Oh, really?
And he was, again, repugnant, his character. So well played. I've never hated him in a movie before.
Sam he's the theatrical beast in this movie. He comes in and just takes hold of the movie, and you really it just grabs your attention and never lets go.
Yeah, you really want to fucking burn him alive in this movie. He's a terrible guy. And you kind of understand why he is the way he is. But I didn't think you could hate him.
Is there any feet in this movie?
No, not really.
Oh, none?
A lot of poor black blistered feet walking through mud and rocks.
No cute feet.
Well, that doesn't make you happy,
No,
sir.
not at all.
That means you're really dedicated to your work. I thought you would have pretty feet in this movie.
I've always wondered if you ever expand on a story with no intention of it going anywhere but your own satisfaction. I'll give you an example. I was watching Pulp Fiction, and of course Zed is laying on the floor bleeding from the crotch, and he is ready to have some serious shit put down on him. Did you ever expand upon what happens to him after Butch leaves and the hard pipe hitting niggas do show up?
Yeah.
Did you ever dwell on that yourself? Do you ever do that?
Oh, well, I usually ask myself certain questions about I actually think the movie keeps on going on after the scene stops.
Exactly.
And, absolutely. I mean, in that case, I didn't take it out to the complete scenario of exactly what they did, for the next 90 minutes or 3 hours or whatever, and how they disposed of the body, or how many different pieces the body was in when they were finished. But it did involve pliers and a blowtorch.
Right? Yeah. And you can only imagine.
What Anthony's telling you is that he puts a ball in his own mouth and whacks off, thinking about being bent over a sawhorse.
And by the way, that's another thing that I've always been curious about, and you rarely get the chance to speak to the guy. I noticed with the ball gags, Bruce Willis had his a lot further in his mouth than Ving did. Did Ving have a gagging problem? Because it really was much further out in his mouth.
I didn't really clock that, I have to say. I will check that out next time.
Please do.
That should make the bloopers reel. When you do something like this and you start to hear controversy swirling around language, do you ever think bad press is going to hurt you, or do you think that any press for the film is okay? Or do you ever have like those panic moments that we get?
Well, I mean, this kind of movie is a hot potato, so you got to be prepared for that going in, or else you're just you're just completely unawares. But I don't really take any of that seriously. I mean, for the thing is, the movie's a lightning rod. It's going to get criticism and it's going to get praise. All right, so some people will like it and some people won't. That's fine. Where I'm coming from, if you have a problem with it, it's just a movie. Don't go see it.
Right.
Else, but at the same time, it's the flashpoint of right now. Yeah, the movie's controversial because it's coming out right now and everyone's talking about it. It's at the forefront of everyone's mind because there's a big pre-release going on to it. And that's what's kind of put under a microscope. But that all goes away. 7 months from now, it's going to be on Showtime. How fucking you'll be watching it in your living room at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. How fucking controversial can it be?
Exactly. It's not made to pander to anything either. It's not. You're not putting things in it to be like, I'm going to shock some people here. It's part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, it's
legitimately.
Literally, I'm sure this movie won't get a touch of the controversy that, say, Ken Russell got when he did The Devils, when it was released, in particularly like in England, or any Clockwork Orange or anything like that. But then after that flashpoint is over, now we live in a world where Django Unchained already exists. Deal with it.
Right. Like I said, in your living room at 4 in the afternoon.
Right, yeah.
Are there any scenes that make you want to, like, there's one scene in the movie that makes me uncomfortable I can think of. It's the rape scene in Irreversible. Makes me uncomfortable to watch. I mean, I'll watch it, but it's so horrific. Is there anything you watch scene-wise that kind of affects you like that?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, no. There's hard stuff to watch for sure. And and whenever I've seen anything that was like really repugnant and it's really turned me off. Yeah, I'll call it that. I don't say they don't have the right to do it, but I don't like it. And I don't ever need to watch it.
Right.
There's but I actually do think, for the most part, uncomfortable that's a good adjective to describe for that. I actually think, when people start using, I was offended by this, I was offended by that, I kind of feel about that the way patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. I think offense is the last refuge of a small mind.
Yeah.
Fuck being offended. What are you talking about? It's a movie. You like it, you don't like it. You don't want to watch it, you want to watch it. Uncomfortable is definitely unpleasant, and I don't want to subject myself to it. Fair enough. But fuck you, an offense.
But offended.
Fuck you.
The kind of thing that, because I watched this, I wasn't offended by it at all. I recognized how brilliantly it was acted and how great that was that they did that, but it made me fucking cringe to just the graphic nature of that rape. I was like, that was just well done.
And then there is there is this thing like that where he knows, that's Gaspano. He knows exactly what he's doing with that, and that movie's not made for everybody. It's made for the people who can go on that journey. Something else like that could be. I mean, I love this movie, by the way, and I love this sequence. But I watch it burn audiences down like crazy. Is Takashi Miike's Audition? Have you ever seen that? The Japanese movie?
No.
Audition? Oh, it's one of the really, really strong movies. Strong and quite a masterpiece, actually. That's come out in the last 20 years. You guys should definitely check it out. But one of the things, especially, It's not the same thing watching it on DVD. Watching it in a room full of strangers, this sequence towards the end gets so fucking rough, and he hasn't prepared you for it at all, which is kind of the genius of it. To tell you the truth. But you actually feel the audience getting madder.
Wow.
And madder. Like there's going to be a riot, maybe. And there's and then all of a sudden, and he's done it in a few different movies, so it's not just a happy accident. He did it in the movie called Ichi the Killer. After daring the audience to actually attack the screen and, charge the projection room and burn the prints, he does this one little tiny thing, and the whole audience laughs.
Wow. Oh, shit.
And then from that point on, you get it. And from that point on, you see it through different glasses. And it's actually, what we were talking about, my stuff, it's one of the wildest leaps I've ever seen anyone do as far as orchestrating an audience. You guys should check it out.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
Audition.
Right.
Audition.
Oh, Audition.
Is there any scene that you've tried to do that with in any of your films that you look back and you go, wow, I wish I would have made that transition a little bit better, or that didn't get the reaction in the final cut that I kind of wanted it to?
No, not in those terms. I've never quite gone quite to the level of grotesquerie. All right, that he goes in this, in that. I've just, I'm just I'm greedy. All right, so if I want people to cheer Django at the end, if they're not cheering loud enough, I'm mad at them.
Right.
How many movies do you see a week these days?
Well, these days, hardly anything, actually.
Hardly?
All right, yeah, because I've been making this movie for a long time, and we literally just kind of finished it about 2 weeks
But when you're in
ago.
between movies, just doing more.
I see a lot of movies.
How many a week would you say?
I don't really count it out like that, but a lot. I mean, I go to the movies, and I'm also, I watch stuff. I have a big video collection, big DVD collection, and I'm taping movies off of television. I mean, one of the things that I actually like to do is I like getting on a kick, getting on, liking a director, or an actor or a subgenre or something, and then just diving into their oeuvre, all right, for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks,
wow, yeah.
and just watching all their movies and making notes about them, and
wow.
it's like I'm going, and it's fun. Then I get over it and make my notes and put them aside, and then go on to the next thing.
I make a drink. Making notes. I'm just. It's a great movie. I'm a zilch.
I'm usually watching it with a Jack Daniels and soda water.
I think we got to wrap up.
Yes, they're telling us we have to wrap it up.
There's the guy with the vaudeville hook.
Yeah.
I was going to do my big acting audition for Quentin, too. I'll have to do it next time. I'm
Jimmy.
fucking terrific. All right. I love this movie. I loved Django. It was brilliant and funny and sad, and it was everything. It's one of the best things you've ever done. And emotionally, I think by far it's the best thing I've ever seen you do.
Oh, thanks a lot, man.
I really mean that. It's like I cannot believe the reactions from one scene to the next. Totally unpredictable. And I mean, what can you say? It's out Christmas
25th.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Competing with Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, an amazing movie.
Yep.
Amazing movie.
Great. Quentin, goddamn, always fun to have you in here,
Always
man.
a blast coming
Love
with
it.
you guys.
Love it.
Absolutely. I think we're done. You need anything, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah, my pre-sale for my show with Artie Lang, Amy Schumer, and David Tell goes on sale today. It's February 17th in the Borgata. So, or February 11th, whatever it is. Password is antisocial.
Yeah. Tell Amy Schumer I have a bit of a crush on her.
Okay.
Oh.
Sure.
I'm filming a little something with her tomorrow, so
Okay.
I'll let her know.
Yeah, you let it go.
I'll let her know.
Yeah.
He's making a snuff film with her. She doesn't know it yet.
It's not going to get better than that. Quentin Tarantino, thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
The Opie and Anthony Show is pretty much over. This show will be available later today with SiriusXM On Demand. After ONA Live is next.